Hello, Oscar.
Hello.
As you know, or may not know, you and me are stars of the immensely popular web series The Sting of Time.
Yes, I do know that.
A series that has ended.
It's all over.
But somehow... The Sting of Time has returned.
Wait, do we believe this?
Yes, we are back. We are in my home with all the cameras. We have one there.
There are a lot of cameras.
One
I've never
there.
seen so many cameras.
And there's one there. So there are 3 cameras.
Yes.
A 3-camera setup. And what are we here to do today?
We are here to solve a riddle of sorts, which has been gnawing at our minds for some time.
Yes.
And said the riddle is, if there is a good Star Wars game.
Yes. And some might say, I'm going to get something here. Some people might say that how is this the Sting of Time? How is this related to that? But there are many ways to feel the Sting of Time.
Yes.
And you could argue that this particular project is potentially feeling that sting in many different ways.
It's like it might not even be like one individual sting, like from a bee, but it's more like a bee swarm.
Yes, and several different species.
Yes.
of bees. This project predates any mention of the Scorpion King.
Yes, that it's much like Star Wars itself. It has a questionable chronology to it. It's also somewhat unclear when it started, but just like Star Wars takes place a long time ago,
Yes.
this entire project got its start a long time ago as well. When it got its start, I think it might not even have been in the shape that it was a project.
Definitely morphed.
Yes.
But to introduce the actual thing we're doing here, the actual project, I have written things down and I printed them as an old person ought to do. And what we have here is a list of all the games we have played, all the Star Wars games we played, which is, for the most part, I think both of us would agree, all the noteworthy ones, with maybe one or two key exceptions.
One or two exceptions.
Mostly because they showed up after
Yes.
we decided that we were finished.
And some that we, despite hard labor and effort, were not able to play.
Yes. So what we're going to be doing here is, on an episode per episode basis, it was a bit vague exactly what an episode entails, we will be putting these games in a elimination bracket, a single elimination bracket, and they will battle in each round against each other in a random seed, and in the end we will have one game remaining, and if we can say that that game is good or bad, we will have a definitive answer if there is a good, or is there a good Star Wars game. I'm going to read the list, which I have printed here. There will probably also be a bracket up, but graphics do not appear live. We have, and I think this is in played order.
That would be an amazing feat if it was in play order.
Star Wars Republic Commando, Star Wars Episode 1 Phantom Menace, Super Star Wars A New Hope, Super Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, Super Star Wars Return of the Jedi, Star Wars Bounty Hunter, Star Wars The Force Unleashed, Star Wars Jedi: Fallen Order, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, Star Wars Battlefront 2 EA, Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2, Star Wars The Old Republic, Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast, Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy, Star Wars Shadows of the Empire, Star Wars Starfighter, Star Wars Super Bombad Racing, Star Wars Dark Forces, Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith, Star Wars Racer Revenge, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, Star Wars Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, Star Wars Lethal Alliance, Star Wars Rogue Squadron 3D, Star Wars Masters of Teräs-Käsi, Star Wars Empire at War, Star Wars Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles, Star Wars Battlefront 2 Classic, Star Wars Revenge of the Sith GBA, Star Wars Squadrons, and Star Wars Apprentice of the Force GBA.
That's the entire list.
I think I just said Star Wars 32 times in a row.
Yes.
Which is probably good SEO, if anything else.
Should we make a comment on noteworthy exceptions?
Maybe we'll do that as a mid-season episode. We'll talk a bit about perhaps specifically 2 or so games that are not on this list. And if we feel they might have influenced the list in any way. But with that, do you have any closing words for this introductory episode for people? What do you feel like? How do you feel about this?
I feel that every game or piece of media that has a colon in the name should be read out as colon whenever, as you just did. That was very good. But aside from that, I have nothing particular to say. I'm ready to go on another terrible journey.
Good.